Happy Monday, guys. It is time for our next newcomer waltz, which I think most of you are not newcomers, but hey, we're doing it anyways. A couple things about today's video. You'll notice that a couple weeks ago we started the videos by dancing on with the music. And then you've noticed this last week I've had a really hard time getting all the videos to upload. Well, what happened was we got busted for copyright infringement. And so once they did that, every single video that we now do, it has to go through their logarithm to find out if there's music and this and that. So that's why we're not doing the music right now, because there are copyright infringement issues with us putting out there in the public. We pay for music stuff here within the video, but putting it out there on Facebook or on YouTube, things like that, what we paid for doesn't cover that. That becomes a whole different thing. So that's why, we're not doing it without music. I am in the process of trying to find some music that just wouldn't show up in copyright stuff. But at the moment I haven't found any that we can be clear about. So that's why we're not doing it without music. All right, so today we're going to be doing a box step with underarm turn and face-to-face, back-to-back. All right? And I think most of you have done this pattern. I'm pretty sure all of you have done these two patterns before, right? So our basic underarm turn, I'm going to do it with my back to the camera. We're doing a square box. A square box is the lady takes her 3 steps. Then we're both doing a turning box to square up to each other, and then a turning box to finish. So that's the pattern as a newcomer. Now, since most of you have done turning boxes before, you're welcome to do a turning box to set this up. You just want to understand that all of a sudden now, let's say that Na and I are going to, the other pattern we're going to do today is the underarm turn to face, back to back. So there's the floor down in front of me. If I do a square box, Na goes under, we're headed right where we were facing when we did that square box, right? But if I were to do a turning box at this point, all of a sudden we are now going off 90 degrees in a different direction. So you certainly can use a turning box. You just have to be really clear, where are you going to go next and how is that turning box going to impact that? So a couple things about this. So again, as the man, I'm doing square, square, turning, turning. So I'm doing square box, turning box, turning box. Right? That's the man's part to that. 2 squares and 2 turns. And the turns are a quarter of a turn. Right? The lady, on the other hand, she's doing a square box. She's taking 3 steps curving. 1, 2, 3. She's now going to do her half a box turning and half a box turning. So the lady's doing square box, walk, turn, turn. Right? So the lady is doing square box, walks, turn, turn. Now, I'm going to do this one more time so you can see a really important thing. You know, Na rarely does anything right when she dances, but she's doing this really good thing today, so I'm going to stop and point out this really good thing that she's doing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, stop. So at this point, what you want to notice is Na is out in front of me, right? Now, in an ideal world, we might want her to go to the side, but the reality of it is, because I'm the man and typically I can take a bigger step, that's actually where I want, because now, when our feet come together, we're offset instead of being nose to nose. If Na on her underarm turn, da-da-da-da, ended up right beside me for those 3 steps, the problem is when we get over here, chances are I'm going to have moved further than Na. Now, she's not taking a small turn by any means. I mean, she's not taking short steps. This is waltz. We are taking big steps. But she's keeping that arc in front of the man, not bringing that arc where she ends up side by side. And that is important for this pattern to work well, the basic underarm turn. Again, because that's what allows us to maintain that. If we do it from a different angle, one of the other things that you're also going to see from this is that it's not about getting back around to the man. If you look where Na is, she's actually walking away from me over there, right? And the connection with the arm will bring her back around to face. So she's not trying to make a really sharp U. I mean, she's not just walking away from me by any means. She knows she's going in a circle, but that circle's going over here. So we have plenty of room between us when we finish that, and then we can close it up as we continue on. All right, so that's our underarm turn with the our box step with the underarm turn. Now we're going to change this into face-to-face, back-to-back, and the one thing that's super important for us as the man to understand about leading it is that. And that means, what I mean by that is, we do our box step, we do our underarm turn, and as we come around, that stop sign is up there until I am done doing the face-to-face, back-to-back. I will keep that palm up. That way my partner has a visual lead, because as she comes around to face me, she sees me waving high, right? And she can't get a grip. She can't follow me because that's palm to palm, right? So in our face-to-face, back-to-back, we are doing box step, underarm turn, face-to-face, back-to-back, face-to-face, back-to-back, and then here's where we make a decision. How many ever we do, our last back-to-back is where we make a decision. And what I mean by that is because there are a few variations on this pattern. So we've just gotten back-to-back. The lady's right foot is free, the man's left foot is free. We can do a half a box to finish this pattern, just like we did in the underarm turn. Right, so really all we did was just stuffed in 4 face-to-face, back-to-back, and everything remained the same. We also have the option from that face-to-face, back-to-back, or that back-to-back position, for the lady to do a pivot with rise and fall while the man does the box. The lady's going to pivot. We're going to do that again. That pivot kind of sucked. We're going to pivot, which sets us up to do a 5th position break at the end. Because of the lady's turn, we can't do a box. So there's 2 different endings for you on this pattern, right? So our first ending from the back-to-back is just the normal box ending, right? And then continue on to the box at the end. The other one is for that underarm turn. Now I'm going to point out one really important thing again. When we went into this, remember I said that as we got through this turn, Na was in front of me, and when we got to here, she was there. Well, face-to-face, back-to-back is no different. We don't actually want to be lined up here. We're actually going to be offset, just like we normally are. So as we go through there, the lady is out in advance of the man. And especially here, because my arms are longer than hers, for us to be side by side, I would have to break my arm to get that to work. So we're just going to leave the lady out in front of us, and as long as she knows that that is what's going on, that that's how it's supposed to be, well, it's not going to be a problem. She simply stays out in front of the man. Now that works well for the underarm turn, because she has to stay in advance of us for the underarm turn. So when I say that the lady's doing a pivot, right, from her back-to-back position, she is literally doing pivot, pivot, walk. Now, of course, we're going to do that with rise and fall. So we're going to do pivot, go up on our toe, walk out, and then from here we're going to step side into a 5th position break. The man's just doing the box step into the 5th position break through that ending. So from the back-to-back position, right, we are dancing 1, 2, 3, 5th position, 2, 3. Okay? So those are our 2 patterns for today. We're going to do the underarm turn ending to it so you can see the whole thing. Box step, underarm turn, face to face, back to back, face to face, back to back. I think we just danced off camera. Sorry about that if we did. So we'll do 2, we'll go back to back, face to face, back to back. Back to back, face to face, back to back. Here's where the hand comes up. The lady goes under the arm. 5th position break. And then out of that into a box. All right, guys, that's our newcomer waltz for today. So that is our box step with the underarm turn, a couple of variables on that, and then our face-to-face, back-to-back, and a new ending for all of you on that one. Thanks, guys.